Hey, welcome back. Episode 269 of the Basement Tapes. Looking at some comments on Twitter. Oh boy, it is time, folks, to tackle the trans fats here. And of course, we're talking about the 1975 Hostess. Bam! I've got 5 of these bad boys. It's kind of sad because I love myself some Hostess, but more so, I love myself some Tasty Cake. So we were probably Tasty Cake family back then, and didn't get quite around to uh, clearing the bases, as they say, with the 75 Hostess. But I do have some pretty nice cards there, I guess. So maybe I shouldn't complain too much. Let's get over to TCDB, and they tell us that there's 154 cards here, $1.88 a pop, $289.60 total, between $100 and $200 for an individual set of these cards. I don't believe it. I think that they would be much more expensive out there in the wild. But let's look at the information provided by Beckett. The cards in this 150 card set measure approximately 2.25 by 3.25 individually, or 3.25 by 7.25 as panels of 3. The 75 Hostess set was issued in panels of 3 cards, each on the backs of family-sized packages of Hostess cakes. Card number 125, Bill Madlock, was listed correctly as an infielder and incorrectly as a pitcher. Number 11, Bert Hooton, and number 89, Doug Rader, are spelled 2 different ways. Some panels are more difficult to find than others, as they were issued only on the backs of less popular Hostess products. These scarcer cards are shown with the SP in the checklist. Although complete panels are not explicitly listed, they would generally have a value of 20 to 30% greater than the sum of the values of the individual players on that panel. Folks, that's 20 to 30% greater than the sum of the values of the individual players on that panel. Get your abacus out. One of the more interesting cards in this set is that of Robin Yount. Hostess issued one of the few Robin Yount cards available in 1975, his rookie year, 4 cards. An album to hold these cards was issued. The albums were originally intended to be given out in grocery stores. However, most seemingly were distributed through Hostess stores. Oh, boy. Look at that. I need myself some sugar right now. The Hostess stores were a real thing. We had a Wonder Bread store around us, and you could go kind of like buy yourself some bulk of all this stuff. But we didn't do that. We went to the Enemans bulk store. No baseball cards there either. So my childhood is kind of it's a big old, I guess it's a big old sham of my childhood. We didn't get to go to the Hostess store. 75 Hostess, 150 cards according to TCDB, 2.25 by 3.25, distributed as 3 card panels on specially marked boxes of Hostess snack cake products. Please note, a separate similar set was created for the 1975 Hostess Twinkies, individual twin packages in the Midwest and California markets. These cards have thick black borders on the upper and lower back, and the left edges do not have dashed lines. Teams represented here are the Braves, Orioles, Red Sox, Angels, Cubs, White Sox, Reds, Indians, Tigers, Astros, Royals, Dodgers, Brewers, Twins, Expos, Mets, Yankees, Athletics, Phillies, Pirates, Padres, Giants, Cardinals, and the Rangers. Errors and variations. We talked about Bert Hooton, Hooten or Hooton. Yaz was originally listed as an outfielder and then late production issue as an infielder. Doug Rader, last name ER or AR. Pick one there. And then Bill Madlock, pitcher or infield, were the 2 positions he was listed at. There's a lot of Hall of Famers here. All the biggies from the 70s: Morgan, Sutton, McCovey, Oliva, Brock, Winfield, 2 Yastrzemskis: Fingers, Carew, Ryan, Carlton, Torre, Blyleven, Seaver, Yount, Bench, Perry, Jackson, Simmons, Negro, Cott, Jenkins, Gibson, Palmer, Perez, Aaron, Schmidt, Stargell, Fisk, Robinson of the Brooks, and Jim Hunter. Inserts and relateds. They are panels considered inserts and relateds. Comments. Gorman VG tells us the Hostess cards were issued on the back of product boxes and 3 card panels. A separate set was issued individually with Hostess Twinkies. They were packaged with the Twinkies and often show staining from the product. The Twinkies cards can be distinguished from the regular Hostess cards by a black bar on the back if the cards are not trimmed too tightly. Packaging, man, Look at these packages with wonderful food in them. The CMYB printing dots on them. Gosh, what a time to be alive. I was. Maybe you weren't, but look at that. Ding dongs. We have king dons, I guess. I thought they were ring dings and ding dongs and Twinkies and more king dons. Just beautiful cards there. You could see an unfolded box kept together. 3 trading cards, free 3 trading cards. Oh boy. Man, I got some major sugar deficit going right now. So I just get hungry looking at these things. Hostess, Twinkies, Hostess, King Dons, all that, man. Daryl Porter, Ron Say, Steve Carlton on that one. Tony Perez, Larry Hissel, Rusty Staub on that one, and Nolan Ryan, Reggie Smith, and Joe Coleman on the other one depicted here. Anything else here? Sell sheets and ads. This is a fun little sell sheet. 3 free baseball cards on each specially marked box of Hostess snack cakes. 3 full color cards printed on the bottom of every specially marked box of Twinkies, cupcakes, and other delicious Hostess snack cakes. Big collector set of 150 cards. Enjoy your favorite baseball player cards and your favorite snack treat at the same time. Trade the cards with your friends. Put together your own Hostess All-Star team. Start your collection now. Start your collection now, folks. The Hostess and Twinkies are registered trademarks of ITT Continental Baking Company. Offer expires August 1, 1975. Glorious, glorious sell sheet there. Here they are, your mighty stars of the Twinks and the Ring Dings and the King Dons and the Devil Dogs and all that stuff. Yodels, perhaps. Robert Tolan, plain packaging, backs, of course, whatever the color of the box was, that's what color your box, the back of your cards are. Sal Bando, mustachioed, Joe Morgan, Mickey Lolich, Don Sutton, of course. Just a wonderful time to be alive, folks. You could have your breakfast Kellogg's, but you could have these all day and nobody would look otherwise. You could have this King Don for breakfast. You can have them in the cafeteria at school at lunch. And of course, when your parents, if you're a latchkey like most of us were, you could have 2 or 3 packs of these before your parents even left work. And then claim you didn't have any dessert after having din din. So we go on. No biographies, just a little vital stats, some yearly stats from 70 to 74, and then your major league totals. So basic stuff here. And look at Chris Spire, man, on that carpeted, completely enclosed Candlestick Park back in the old days. Bert Blyleven, born in Zeist, the Netherlands, of course. Always remember that. 6'3", 200 pounds, throws and bats right-handed. Born April 6, 1951. He is a Nederlander. Tommy Seaver, Nate Colbert now with the Detroit Tigers. He was a Padre, and he is dangerously out of place there. Perhaps a victim of the painter's pen, because he's in Shea Stadium right there. Although we do know that the American League played in Shea Stadium for a few years back in the mid-'70s. I don't think this is a case of that. George Medich, he's a doctor. Keep going here. Bobby Darwin, never heard of him. Phil Necro. Look at that Mike Sundberg catching pose. And I like how they call him Mike Sundberg instead of Jim Sundberg, even though the back of the card clearly says James Howard Sundberg. So maybe somebody knows the story of Mike Sundberg, the catcher, and what they did with James Howard Sundberg, the Rangers catcher we all loved and adored. Greg Gross, Houston Astros. He was managed by Leo DeRocher and the Astros, who was a roommate of Babe Ruth in the 20s. So fun little 1 degree of separation there from Babe Ruth. There's Glenn Beckert. He was with the Cubs, all-star, many years out there at Jack Murphy Stadium in Padre Land. Hal McRae having a good time there in the sun. Mike Jurgensen. Mike Hargrove taking a sweet old time as usual. He could have been higher up in the series, but he must have been a little late for his photograph. Willie Montanez would flip the bat coming to the plate, and it sent kids like me agaga. 1971, he hit 30 dingers and 99 RBIs, and would never approach those heights again. Thurman Munson, great up nostril shot right there. Richie Zisk. George Hendricks, he was a bad MOFO, if you know what I mean. Lee May, Carlton Fisk, Grant Hyde in the background there. Brooke Robinson looks like he is at some sort of fantasy baseball camp right there. Bobby Bonds and one of his many teams. He's with the Yankees right there. Gary Sutherland, and let's get to the end here. Oscar Gamble, card 147. I just want to make love to that card. Designated hitter with the Cleveland Indians. If you're not with Oscar, then you're not with me, folks. Jim Hunter, he is wearing a Yankees cap that is painted onto his head over top of his Oakland A's uniform. In fact, he's got a mustache. He's in Oakland Stadium. A couple signs, two things right there that'll tell you why what's going on there. He was often referred to as the first free agent, but it's a little more devious than that. Charlie Finley agreed to pay a certain amount of his contract into an annuity, failed to make those payments because he was worried about the tax implications. So Jim Hunter was declared a free agent and able to sign with whomever he wanted after a 25-12 season, his third straight World Series championship, and his fourth straight 20-win season. So what a time to be denied your annuity by Charlie O'Finley. Tug McGraw, he too is painted on his cap. Dave McNally is an Expo, and not quite sure how long he would stick around there in the big leagues after that. David Arthur McNally. So that's the 1975 Hostess set, not to be confused with the Twinkie set, which is only available to people out there in the Western lands. The uncharted territory of the Western United States got a little extra bonus there. I see these around a lot, and I like, if you're like me, you can never have enough of these. So I should probably stop talking about them and go out there and get me some of these. That's Basement Tapes number 269 from the side here. Thanks, everybody.